Where my dogs at? We right here, dog. Where my dogs at? Right here, dog. Where my dogs at?
Alright, it's been a minute. Sorry we haven't been recording. We've been busy watching. It's the NBA playoffs. They've happened. We haven't reported on them mainly because it's been hectic, but geez, it's tough to talk about things as they're happening in real time, and there is so much stuff that has happened this season. If y'all don't know what you clicked on, this is, of course, the 2018-19 NBA Clinic. I am here, once again, your host with the most, Johnny Currian. Get at me at my name, JonyKurian, because my name is my motherfucking name.
Then, you know, it's your boy, Young Sterlz, Pascal, Mike Lowry, whatever you want to call me, and we in here.
Dang, and let's just jump right into it, man. These playoffs have been absolutely crazy. The first rounds, the second rounds, especially the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference playoffs have been so enjoyable to watch with LeBron being out of the East. I mean, obviously, I do miss LeBron being in the playoffs in general. It just writes another narrative, another story that we can pay attention to. But I've just enjoyed the weird absence of LeBron. Like, it's just kind of made things a little bit more competitive in the Eastern Conference. And then the Western Conference has just been an absolute fucking shootout. You look at the Blazers-Nuggets series, that was insane. You look at a lot of the first-round matchups, those were crazy. We've had some double overtime games. We've had a quadruple overtime game, I believe. That was insane. We've had buzzer beaters. We've had Game 7 buzzer beaters. Eastern Conference is happening right now. It's still competitive for the Eastern Conference Finals. We're recording this as Game 6 is happening with the Bucks versus the Raptors. Two weirdly evenly matched teams. I've really enjoyed both of these teams playing up against each other because I feel like they play very similarly. They have a lot of long bodies on the team. They can switch very, very well. And then they also just have star players like that are top 5 talents in this league, period, in Kawhi Leonard and Giannis. And both of them have had their moments to ball out. I mean, I've really enjoyed it. The one thing that I will say I respect as I've watched this series go on is, like, the Bucks punched the Raptors in the fucking mouth for, like, that first game so badly in the first 2 games. And, like, the thing that I always love about the playoffs is you're always going to have a game where there's going to be a shooting drought. Like, there's no way people have won championships without having one bad game. You know what I mean? Like, people don't just, like, easily blow through rounds just like that without going through some adversity. And I know people want to be already off the rip, just be like, oh, Warriors are already ready for the championship, but, like, they went through trials in that first round with the Clippers. They kind of got punched there. I mean, they swept the Blazers, but then even during the Rockets, like, they got tested a little bit, albeit early, and you need those tests, and those tests are coincidentally defining this Bucks-Raptors series right now because the Raptors, from games 3 onward, were just able to completely change the way they play defense. And just putting Kawhi on Giannis has been so enjoyable because it's like what happens when an unstoppable force hits like the ultimate defense. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like two worlds colliding that are supposed to be the best at what they do.
Yeah, I mean, Kawhi is definitely one hell of a defender. He's the only person that I ever seen be able to stop LeBron, like, during segments of a game. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how good he is. I think everybody forgot this man's powers since he was gone all season last year, basically, with that injury. And
yeah.
And then this season, he was doing all that load management, taking all these games off. And I guess that was just all to shine in the playoffs because, like, we're really witnessing, like, peak Kawhi right now. Like, he is doing whatever he wants on both ends. He is locking people up. And this man, if you just say go get a bucket, he is getting you those buckets. Like, we've never really seen from Kawhi before. Like, we've never really seen him be this alpha. Even though it is kind of, I feel like it's hurting him right now because it's, like, draining him because all the offensive output sometimes is being put on him. And he's not really the best playmaker. He kind of be getting caught in the air sometimes. I have to be making last-minute decisions and stuff, which can lead to turnovers and stuff. But I really do like to see, like, I just like the growth that we've seen from Kawhi. And, like, at first he was just the shutdown defender, but now we're getting to see what he can do on the offensive end. And then, like you said, that matchup with Giannis that's great to see too, because we saw this skinny kid come in from Greece and like at first was just getting pushed around and stuff, and now this man turned into a absolute monster, just like going through the lane, splitting people, dunking on people, doing whatever he wants at times. And it's just very nice to see. Like if this man ever gets a jump shot, he'll be unstoppable literally on the offensive end, because he's also a willing passer anytime. So like it is really exciting to see where the NBA's come, and like I do, as much as it hurts to say, it has been interesting seeing a LeBron-less playoffs, just because you just getting to see so many other players shine.
And they definitely deserve that shine. Not only just star players like we're seeing right now with the Bucks Raptors, but also just amazing role players stepping up. The Blazers, I know they got swept, but that last game, Game 4, with Myers Leonard just going off from three-point range, and even looking at this series right now with the Bucks and Raptors, there's so many players that still come through and show out randomly. You got Ersan Ilyasova just raining threes. You got Pascal Siakam, who probably will win Most Improved Player of the Year in the NBA, just coming through and just growing in his playoff experience, and it adapts very well. Like Pascal Siakam, the first 2 games of this series was just getting absolutely just fucking wrecked. Like he was just not playing well. You know, we've seen him learn in real time, and that's great to see from some of the great players. Like, I mean, Kawhi went through a similar experience when he was put through the first test with the Miami Heat, like at such a young age, and ended up like coming through and winning a Finals MVP because of it. Like seeing the great players learn that quickly is always enjoyable to watch, even though you might not see the fruits of that labor immediately. I think we're starting to see that happen with Pascal Siakam. That guy's a special talent. And then also Kyle Lowry starting to actually, you know, like eliminate his playoff demons a little bit. He's had games where he's been an impactful, meaningful player on the floor. It's been great to see, because like even the first round of the playoffs, like Kyle Lowry was like clearly still in his head, listening to all the voices say that this guy can't play for shit during the playoffs. And now this is the first series where I've seen him off the rip, like try to make a difference, even though he was also garbage game 1 of this series as well. And I mean, there's also just like all of these other little underlying stories too, like just who has the best bench in the league right now? That's a really good question. I know the Warriors have totally turned it on during the playoffs, but I feel like the 2 teams just in general, if we look at beginning of the season all the way up to now, are playing each other in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like I really have never seen 2 teams with such deep benches. And we've always known that about the Raptors. We were even saying that, you know, last year. That's why they were able to get the first seed and do so well. We were always praising people like OG Anunoby or Freddie VanVleet. And it's showing off once again in this series. And then, of course, the Bucks, too. Like, they have so much talent and so much depth as well. And it leads to just being able to throw big bodies at you, whether it be the guards with Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, even Malcolm Brogdon, and then even the bigs, of course, that are able to stretch the floor and kind of give a lot of versatility and even play you inside out if they need to. It's just been great. Like these 2 teams have designed their offenses and the way they've built their rosters exactly the same. It's weird. It's like you're watching 2 evenly constructed teams, evenly styled teams just go at it. It's insane. I feel like if we had to run just like different like permutations of the series over and over again, we would probably get a 50-50 split every series. Like, and it's great to watch because it's leading to good basketball and the right plays being made at the right moments, and they happen to be always clutch and always done by star players. So I'm enjoying these Eastern Conference Finals while they last, but we all know what's about to happen once we get to the finals, because holy fuck, the Warriors are still the Warriors without Kevin Durant. Who would have thought?
They're beating everybody's ass. Like, it's that's why I said it wasn't fair when KD joined them. Like, that wasn't fair, because you see what they do without him. They still are just, they're gonna give you buckets, like, and you can't stop.
And there wasn't even no adjustment.
This man Draymond turns into another person. Like, when you take KD out of the picture, and Draymond gets to run the show. Like the way he orchestrates that offense is beautiful. Like I hate to say it because I hate the Warriors, but like the way they orchestrate that offense is just beautiful basketball to watch. Like, and you can't really stop it because the ball's just moving. They get into open person, letting him shoot. Everybody has confidence in everybody. Like, and they're just playing basketball, just reading and making the right plays, and it's just. You can't really stop it. That chemistry.
Are we ready to say this is the greatest team of all time?
I already said that. Like, I already said that when they won 73 games. Like,
and that was without Kevin Durant.
Exactly.
Now they have Kevin Durant and Boogie on a bench, and they're still giving you the 2015 Warriors. Like, that's what the fuck. Like, I mean, on one hand, it's kind of sad that we're not going to be getting real competition here coming into the NBA Finals, but also at the same time, it's beautiful to see what might be the last moments of the greatest basketball team of all time. Like, we will never see basketball be played at such a high level ever again. And, that's very extreme. Who knows what the future has in store. But right now, like, this is our Michael Jordan moment. Like, as a team, like, imagine, like, saying that we grew up in the 90s and we were able to see Michael Jordan go for, like, 6 rings. You know what I mean? Greatest individual player of all time. Now, like, this run that we're seeing the Warriors go on, like, I'm going to be able to tell my kids and my grandkids about that. Like, this was the greatest basketball team ever constructed.
Yeah, I think it's very hard to doubt that. Especially with KD, it's just this team. Like, they got everything. They got everything you need. Like, it's just too much offense. Like, you can't stop it. They're just going to find a mismatch or they're going to find the open man. Either one.
And that open man is going to kill you. That's not just like some open guy.
Two of the top 5 greatest shooters ever. And one of them is the greatest. Scrap that. They got 3 of the top 10 shooters ever. Because you got to include KD. I don't know where you're going to put him.
KD's top 10
definitely
shooter.
Top 10, easily.
Yeah, easily. Oh my gosh. This guy's like damn near a career, or it might be a career 50, 40, 90 guy. Think about that. 50% from the field. 40% from three-point range, 90% from the free throw line. This man could possibly end his career averaging that. And, like, with multiple scoring titles. And this guy is, like, the third shooting option on the team.
I think he might be the greatest scorer ever when it all comes down to history. As far as someone that you can't physically stop him. That's the thing. Like, he's gonna get his shot off, so there's nothing really you can do about that. And then he can still dribble past you. He still got handles and stuff. So I mean,
he
has the whole package as far as the offensive game.
Yeah, he only really needs 3 steps to get to the rim, so he will drive on you easily if he puts one dribble onto the floor. And if not, when he pulls up, you can't guard him. Like, he has too much of a wingspan and height. And that's why I hope he comes to the Knicks.
I mean, I hope so, too, for the betterment of the NBA. Then it'll be really competitive. Then we won't know what's going to happen. Like, even though the Warriors might still be the favorite if they keep the team intact, even without him, it's still, everybody will be so much more happy because, like...
Okay, Sterling, so let me ask you this. What do you think allowed the Warriors to bounce back so quickly after KD went down? Like, what do you think was the contributing factor to inspire the Warriors to be like, you know what, we back on our bullshit?
I mean, they still have the core of the people who've been doing it. Like, think about it. They still could put in the lineup where it's Steph, Clay, Draymond, Iggy, and Livingston. Like, that lineup was always dangerous, like... And they still always got that in, like, just in the arsenal. Like, you got, all veterans. Like, they all veteran savvy. You got 2 of the greatest shooters ever. You got Draymond, who he'll do everything. You got Iggy, who will lock down the best offensive player. And then you got Sean Livingston.
Mid-range god.
He's a mid-range savant in his own right. Like,
yeah, do you know who's the unsung hero even of all of this? Is freaking Jonas Jerebko, man. That guy has been, like, patiently waiting on the bench. And he used to do work at Utah, too. Like, I knew he was a good pickup. It's crazy that he's, like, their 11th or 10th man in the rotation. But, like, every single time they've put that guy in the game, even if it's been for 5 to 10 minutes, fucking has been cashing shots, playing really well on defense, like, moving the ball. Like, everybody is just fits so well into this system. But if I had to really say that there was one driving, contributing factor to inspiring the Warriors to play the way they did, I'm going to give it to this one person. And that one person is Ayesha Curry for talking shit about her mans and waking him up. Listen, I got a timeline behind this.
Let's hear it.
Even before, even when KD went down, bro, Ayesha like went off on this like random ass rant talking about how she was so jealous about Steph Curry being such a nice human being that women hit onto him all the time, and like he just acknowledges their presence. And apparently Steph Curry being so nice made Ayesha jealous, and she was just like, why aren't guys doing that to me? First of all, what type of sick woman do you have to be married to arguably like one of the nicest, most rich, most talented basketball players of all time, who treats you like such a nice human being, to think a thought like that? Like, that shit was so unfathomable to me as a person that I was like, how's Steph dealing with this? And later on, immediately after KD went down, or even before KD went down, like right after Ayesha started talking shit, Steph Curry started going like 25-point games, 30-point games. Like, it just started racking up, and I was like, damn, that's beautiful. That's how you handle a PR situation. Because imagine had it gotten messy. Like, because Ayesha was insinuating a lot of things. Like, what if people started doing some research on Steph and was like, oh shit, this is a whole new Tiger Woods situation. All of a sudden, Steph Curry crashes his car. There's like 5 hookers that come out that bitch. We will never know about that timeline or that story because we will never live in that timeline. And that's because Steph Curry got buckets at the right time. Way to shoot yourself, Bail King. I see you. I see you.
That's where you took it. That's what you was thinking was going on.
That's the only way it makes sense in my mind.
I think she was just jealous of the attention. She just wants that attention.
But like, you're not Steph Curry. Like, you should just be grateful for what you have at this point. Like, this man even got you a fucking show like on the Food Network or whatever. Like, you're out here being like this cooking celebrity lady, even though you're just a regular lady. Like, what do you have to be jealous of? Like, what more could you want? How much more attention do you need? You have everything.
Hey, sometimes it's not enough for people. Like, especially when she's seeing her spouse get it. But like, I think that's one of the differences between men and women. It's like, guys, we just gonna be okay with that. Like, yeah, my girl look good. I'm glad you acknowledged that. But girls, they get that little jealous. Like, if they're not receiving it too, I say.
Yeah. And also, of course, he's not going to give you that attention right now. This guy's got to try to win a fucking championship. He's trying to three-peat. There are bigger things at stake here than your ego within this moment.
Apparently, she did like insinuate that she wasn't being sexually satisfied. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like she was implying that, which was it was very weird because she was like, all right, she was like pretty much hinting that he wasn't satisfying my needs, and also girls happen to look at him, which was like the crazy girl combination. I've already heard this before because like my exes have totally accused me of this, where it's just like, you're not giving me attention, and other girls are giving you attention, thus you're fucking other girls. Like, have you ever gotten that before in a relationship? I know I have.
I wouldn't say it went directly to the conclusion, but I say in a way, he just yearns for that attention. Really, that's all I took from it. I like, she sees her significant other in the spotlight all the time, which garners all this attention. And I think that's one of the reasons why she got the cooking show and everything. She's like, I want some of that too. Like, I'm not just cool just being the wife at home with the kids and stuff like that. I want to, like, be a star too. I want people...
She want to bust down.
I want people to want me and, like, cheer for me and all this stuff like that, like they do for you.
That's the thing that makes me know for sure she's crazy. Is like, you already have that.
But I mean, she also got to deal with people saying that his mom looks better than her, which if it
that's probably see, there we go. That's what it is.
I'm the one on that train too. So it's like, dang.
Listen, I'm Team Sonya all day, bro.
She aged very well.
Sonya bad.
She aged very well. I'll give her that too.
I don't even know if she ages, bro. Like, she just stays looking fine.
Have you ever looked at her ethnicity? Oh man,
Nah, would that be?
I forget. It's a bunch, but it's a beautiful mix.
She probably like 5 different
It's a
races.
beautiful
That's
mix.
beautiful.
She's just beautiful. That's her race.
Man, the real MVP of all of this is Del Curry. Stay winning, Del. Stay winning.
Dell, he was shooting the right shots, man. He's the best shooter of all time. Shoot.
But man, yeah, enough of all of this Warriors talk, bro. Let's get back to what's happening all around the league, because even though we're wrapping up here with the whole 2018-19 season, there's still a lot of stuff that's going to be happening during the offseason as well. And there are a lot of things that are even coming out right now in terms of end of the year awards and such. And the big one that kind of dropped here recently was all NBA teams for the year 2019. So for the first team, the people who made it were Giannis Antetokounmpo, Steph Curry, Paul George, James Harden, and Nikola Jokic, all of which deserve it based off of their regular season performances, in my opinion. Second team, it's Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, and Damian Lillard. Definitely makes a lot of sense. They all deserve it. Probably the reason why they're on second team, or a lot of these players are on second team, is just because they didn't play all of the 82 or 81 games of the regular season. But all these players could have easily made the first team. And then this is where it gets pretty interesting, in my opinion. The third team was Blake Griffin, Rudy Gobert, LeBron James, Kemba Walker, and then Russell Westbrook. Now, the reason why I personally say that the third team is such an interesting shakeup is because I was shocked to see Russell Westbrook make it over Klay Thompson. Personally, I think Klay is of more value to a team in terms of doing it on both sides of the floor consistently. But people love them triple doubles, so Russell Westbrook being out there representing the small market gets that third team spot. I ain't mad at it, but I personally would have chose Klay.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. At this point, yeah, Russell is he's getting you the triple double. He's averaging a triple double for the third season in a row, but we can clearly see it's not really doing that much for his team. They got swept in the first round. They got out of here, bounced real quick like it was nothing. And I think you got to take that into account in this voting. Like, Klay Thompson's been to the finals 5 times in a row now. I feel like he's undervalued for like what he actually does for that team. Like, the amount he puts in on both the offense and defensive sides of the ball. I feel like the Warriors on the Warriors without him, and I think that should have been considered in the making of these All-NBA teams.
Yeah, and these things, as picky as we get sometimes with them, do definitely matter, because not only are they awards that will recognize players, on a international, global level, these all NBA teams actually dictate who becomes Supermax players and who don't. So for those who don't know what a Supermax is, it's pretty much the opportunity for the team that currently holds your rights to be able to offer you one extra year and a fuck ton more of money than anybody else. So that's how we end up with the crazy Russell Westbrook contracts. That's how we end up with the crazy John Wall contracts and stuff, where you're going to get paid $40, $42, $43 million a year. Those come from Supermaxes. Because of those Supermaxes, Kemba Walker is now eligible for a Supermax, as well as Giannis Antetokounmpo and James Harden. However, Klay Thompson is not, and he's on a contract year right now along with Kemba. That's great for Kemba, because now Kemba should be eligible to get paid 5 years, $221 million, as opposed to signing with some other team for 4 years, $191 million. So
million a year.
if he chooses to stay at home, he gets paid a lot more guaranteed money and a lot more money. There are NBA players who are making that as 4-year contracts.
I don't know how you pass that up. Like, even if you are going to go to a better team and like have a chance to win a championship, that's still like $11 million difference from year to year. It's crazy. There's going to be a lot of decisions in this offseason for people to make. I'm excited for it. I hope it really shakes up the NBA and like we get to see whole new teams next year.
Yeah, and I definitely think that will be the case moving forward. Especially, it just feels like KD is shaking. I don't know if it's coming to the Knicks. I don't even want to address that type of energy on this podcast and jinx my beautiful, beautiful, downtrodden franchise that will rise from the ashes like fucking phoenixes. But there's also, a whole lot of other stuff happening with other franchises. The Clippers are very, very well positioned to take over. I've made the prediction on this podcast all the way back in October that Kevin Durant will most likely go to the Clippers. We'll see what happens with that. If not, Kawhi is definitely, if they don't, make it probably to the NBA Finals, I see him shaking. The Brooklyn Nets are beautifully positioned for another takeover as well, with a state-of-the-art facility, a whole lot more cap space, and franchise stability. And then, even though they're literally a crazy clusterfuck right now, the Los Angeles Lakers are weirdly in a good position as well. LeBron James is there. That young core is ready. I think Lonzo Ball is going to come back with an extra gear. And I think they're going to have cap space to sign really, really good role-playing free agents. There's just a lot of opportunities right now. And even if people want to compete off the rip.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to speak on the state of the NBA?
Unless you want to talk about the Lakers being a dumpster fire. Nah, not really, man.
I just want to see what happens. I just want to get to free agency and see how it shakes down. And I want to see what they're going to look like going into training camp. I want to see that team looks like, and that's where I want to take it. I'm kind of over it right now. It's we just got to wait.
And with that being said, we are going to wait and wrap it up here. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Click that like button, do the commenting things, and also subscribe, I guess, or don't subscribe, continue living your life. But we appreciate you listening to this podcast, and we're going to keep it going even during free agency this summer. So this will not be the last time you hear from us. We out.
Peace.